Hey, we are Maureen and Rob, the Stromads, aka your Tequila Tasting Nomads, and we are coming to you this week from Puerto Penasco, Mexico, otherwise known as Rocky Point, Mexico.
You got it. It is sunny and 70s today. Little breezy and super sunshine, which I'm sure you can tell from our wonderful expressions that we're giving you.
We're giving you the squint because we're blinded.
Slam right in our eyes. There's just, we're trying to do a little bit of a wind block so we get a little better sound. Let's go right into it.
So at the end of the video, we're going to swing around and we're going to show you some. We are with the RV, the mothership is right behind us, and we are right on the beach. This is I don't know exactly what it's called because I've heard it called a couple different things. Penasco Bay, we've heard it called the Sea of Cortez, and we've heard it called the Sea of California.
Okay, so anyway, we came in south of Tucson, and it's the Lukeville border crossing. We're about an hour and a half from the border. Great road down here, and you'll see some of our other videos about Mexico and how to travel down here, but we have really enjoyed our time here, and we wanted to share with you this particular state of Mexico. Sonora has its own adult beverage. You're all familiar with tequila, and we've talked about tequila, and you know tequila is regulated and stuff within a certain region and has to be grown. So that's what we've got here. Tell us.
Well, we have got this little gem called Bacanora, and Bacanora has a seedy little past with it. So we're going to get right into it, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. Bacanora is an agave spirit. It is its own agave, and it is made here in the state of Sonora. It is the only place that Bacanora can be made.
It is, and it's the only distilled spirit that is only made in one state. So tequila crosses a couple different states and regions, and so does Sotol and Mezcal, but Bacanora is only in Sonora.
So there you have that. Pretty cool little fact. So I think what we'll do is we will taste it first. We're not really quite sure because it is it's a little stronger than what we are used to.
So you started with the question, what does Bacanora and moonshine have in common?
Well, do you want to talk about that first, or do you want to have a little sip first?
No, I do want to have a little sip first, but one of the things I think before we talk about what the real answer is yeah, we're not really sure. And when you pipe down a big jug of clear moonshine and it's Everclear, you're really not sure there too. So we're gonna find out. All right, here we go.
Oh my gosh, it smells fantastic.
You want me to smell that too?
Well, no, I want you to just cheers me. So I was expecting something totally different from the aromas on this. I was expecting my eyeballs to be singed out because of its history here in Mexico and here in Sonora. And we're going to get to that. I promise I'm going to get to this story because you're going to love it. But wow, you can smell a little bit of smoke in there, and it almost smells sweet.
Yeah. So part of the reason maybe that you still have your eyebrows is that this is only I think 70 proof, and they are authorized.
It's 76.
76?
Yes,
okay.
38%.
76 proof. They're authorized to go up to, by the Mexican designatory, to go up to 110%. So Bacanora has to be somewhere between 38% and 55% alcohol by volume.
Gotcha.
So that's probably why you still got your
yeah, eyebrows. That's very pleasant. It's got a little bit of heat going down, but not what I have. I've had some other stuff that has been just like, didn't want to take. But that has a really nice little sweetness on the finish, a sweetness on the front. Not like sugar, not like candy, just like maybe
Sweet cooked agave.
yeah, really, really good. So this agave that they use is grown here. It was grown wild, and that's where the whole craze came from. This agave is indigenous to the Sonora area. And back in the day, when I say back in the day, not like last week, like 300 years ago, they started making this agave spirit. They used a bunch of different ones that were found in the region. Then the people loved it so much. They, would have parties, they would dance, they would get jiggy.
Because Maureen was there back in
back in the day.
Back when she was
300 years ago, we got jiggy. But they, the distillers decided that they would bring it down a little bit and bring it in. So they started producing it only with this certain agave, and they call it Agave Pacifica. And I would give you the real name of it, but I can't pronounce it. So we'll just go with the agave.
Angustifolia
Thank you.
Blanco.
Thank you. See, I always appreciate that you know these things. So anyway, back to the story. The people of Sonora loved this distilled spirit. They were going crazy over it for like 200 years. They were just going nutso. So the Mexican government said, or actually it was the Sonoran government, it might have even been the Bacanora, the town of Bacanora and the city or the state of Sonora, they said, oh no, no more. We care about our people too much to allow them to just go downhill and be immoral and, and enjoy the fruits of this amazing spirit. So they outlawed it. Much like our day of prohibition in the 20s, in the 1900s here,
Yeah,
they
1915,
said,
I think.
yeah, they said no more. This is outlawed. So what happened was the distillers went to the back room and the hidden places, and they still made it. And the people still got it. And they would hide it in their closets. They'd hide it under the floorboards. Because if you got found out, you could go to prison. And if you got caught cooking it, you could go up against a firing squad.
Wow, that's some serious stuff.
Didn't stop them though. They still kept making it. It is, they call it Mexico's best kept secret.
Yeah.
The Sonoran Secret. The Sonoran Secret. And I could see why. It really is very nice. They have it at parties. They have it at celebrations. And the people here still, they love it. They rave about it. And we have a friend back in the United States, Syed, I hope you're watching, that he told us about it. And he said it is his favorite.
Yeah.
And so we're really super glad that we got a chance to get some, because I don't know that it's actually imported into the United States. And if it is, it certainly is not in our area.
Sure. Well,
when
it's good.
They came back in, what year was it? Like 1992. So it's only been legalized for 30 years, again, re-legalized and re-entered into mainstream. And again, the people love it. I really like it. I think I'm going to have to get a bigger bottle to bring home. But since then, the Mexican government, the people that hand out the noms, the governing body.
Yeah, they call it's a little bit different than the nom.
It's
the designated origin it's the DOE, I think, is what they call it. And there is only one nom for Bacanora.
Yeah.
And that is for the whole state of Sonora.
Well,
There
it's
is
much
one nom.
like champagne. You can only make champagne in Champagne, France.
Right.
You can only make tequila in and call it tequila in whatever those
Sure.
5 states.
Right.
Same with mezcal. Same with Scotch whiskey, and the same with bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of different things that keep them the denomination of origin, and we love that. Everybody should be able to have their own claim to fame, and if not, then why would you have anything special? Bacanora is pretty special, and I think that it is going to be around for quite a while.
Well, I think you're going to see it come back, and I think part of the reason that they brought Bacanora back, number one, because
they got shamed into it.
Well, they did, but also
legislation,
they took an industry that was very popular and thriving, and they killed it.
Yeah.
And they put a lot of families out of work, and so then economically, they decided they had a great product, a great way, and they brought it back. And now, there are well over thousands of people involved in the production of Bacanora now.
Yeah.
And it's now a profit center. It's an income producer for the state and for the country. Produces the taxes. You've got, this one here is certified. It's got the tax stickers on it from Sonora and from Mexico. So it does that, and it puts people back to work.
Kind of sounds like another product we have in the United States.
Oh, yeah?
What would you say that one is?
You think?
Weed. We
Yeah.
all know it's weed. And so anyway, I guess it's everybody's cash crop, right?
Well, it is for Sonora, and that's a good thing.
It is a good thing,
And
because it really is a wonderful agave spirit.
I think it's not quite as strong as some of the mezcals that we've tried.
No.
And it's interesting.
It is way smoother.
They grow 5 to 7 years with the Peña, and these guys, for whatever reason, they use a machete to cut the Peña down instead of the koa. And but it's something that they definitely point out, and I'm not quite sure what the significance.
I wonder if that's what all those kids were that were. Remember those boys
we
the
saw
other
those
day?
guys with the machetes. Yeah,
walking up
they're
the
not.
road. We were a little scared.
So they use that. Then they split it, and it actually is done. It's roasted in a hole in the ground. I think it's 48 hours.
No, they roast it with the mesquite wood.
They do
That
roast it
gives
with the mesquite wood, and that's what gives it the
It gives it a lighter. Sometimes certain woods all wood has a different smell and taste to it, but this mesquite gives it a really. I think that's what gives it that. Obviously, it's a smoky flavor, but it's not like getting a mouth full of smoke.
Right.
So, are you ready for a little bit more?
Sure.
So, Chaz, if you are out there listening and watching, I know that you are probably having a few thoughts of your own out there. I'm going to try and score us another bottle of this and bring it back home for you to try, because this might make you a believer. Now, it's funny, we're sipping out of the 100 Pueblos, and it is a Blanco. So you found something interesting on your research this morning.
As far as I could tell, that's all they have at this point is a Blanco. It comes straight out. It is not aged. It doesn't go into oak barrels. It comes straight out of the fermentation. They fermentate it.
They fermentate it.
It's fermented for about up to 6 days, and that's where they get the saite, which is the pulp. And then they do use mesquite logs in the still. It's a copper spot still. They use the mesquite there as well, and they put it in the still, and they get their initial product, which is the head. And you were talking about sometimes they sell out the head to other, I guess, distillers, and they make their own product with it. They will distill it again, and that gives you the heart. And then finally, at the end of the second distilling, they get the Rescaque, which is the Bacanora. And Bacanora actually is limited. They're limited quantities due to a lack of fresh water for the agaves.
That's pretty interesting, because I'll tell you, we are here in the middle of the freaking desert. I mean, seriously, we are right on the sea, and Sonora is known for the place where the desert meets the sea. And it's really fascinating, because when you come down to like a normal beach town, it's not like this. This has been desert since we came. Like from where? From Delaware? I mean, we've been in the
Sonoran Desert. The Sonoran Desert runs through the bottom of Arizona, at least, in here, all the way down through Mexico till it dumps in the water at, past Hermosillo and way down in Sonora.
Yeah. So we've been here a month, and it rained.
Dribbled.
One time last night.
It dribbled. It didn't rain.
For about 20 minutes. But
right.
I mean, it was an all out, oh, we're gonna have rain. and that's pretty much what it did. It wasn't much of anything.
The last rain we know of was around New Year's.
Yeah.
They had a little bigger rain there. It caused some issues.
It was a couple
just
days,
because it's so dry. They, when it rains, everything just
well, it's dry and
bubbles up.
flat, and there's just no drainage here. Something seriously important about Bacanora too, before we get anywhere. Bacanora is not a spirit to be mixed. They get really offended.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Bacanora lovers, they don't want to see you mixing it in a Paloma. They don't want to see you mixing it with club soda or with like a tequila sunrise or something like that. It is to be enjoyed neat, straight up, and sipped. Some of the places, we didn't get real fancy, but some of the places or some of the distilleries, some of the connoisseurs out there, the catadors, the aficionados, they would suggest that you serve it with lemon or lime and hot salt or chili spice or something like that. We don't have any of that with us. Or we're too lazy to pull it out, and we're just going to go neat with it. But it is a nice little change if you have that, or if you have some pineapple.
Yeah. We went out the other night and had a shot, and they brought it with the fruit cut up with the hot salt, and wow, that was just really, really amazing.
Yeah.
The way they presented that. You take your sip, you dip your fruit in your salt, eat that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's great.
Yeah, it is. So if you come to our house and have Bacanora, you're not going to get that.
Well, unless you bring the fruit.
Unless you bring the fruit.
Gwenny.
Go ahead and get that fruit out. Make that charcuterie board, that fruitery board. Yeah, so we're not going to probably serve any of that. We're not fancy. We just want to get down to business.
So Bacanora's a keeper? 100 pueblos?
I think it is, definitely.
Yeah, it's 100 towns, and that's what they distribute. They're part of a big, of course, distributor out of Europe, La Europa, or Europea. And that's my Bacanora story.
I'm sticking to it. Well, I hope we did Bacanora some justice out there, and I hope that we gave you something new to look for, to try, not be afraid of. It will not burn your eyeballs out. It won't send you like the real moonshine that we have all had around a campfire, and we will leave certain people's names out of this. But it is nice. It's a little bit different. It is not real super antiseptic. Like we sometimes think of a mezcal or something like that, that it's really antiseptic tasting. It's kind of nice.
Yeah,
and
it's drinkable.
give you a serious quick buzz too.
Well, we are glad that you guys hung out with us here in Puerto Penasco. Look for some more videos on Mexico and how beautiful it is. And we are the Stromads. Make sure you like us, subscribe us, comment to us, reach out, tell us what you like, where you get your Bacanora, if you find it.
Yes, yeah. And better yet, if you want to come on a show with us and sip some Bacanora or mezcal or tequila or wine, let us know. We would love to have you on the show with us. We're going to be back on the East Coast shortly, and you never know. Too far is never too far, right?
You never know where we're going to end up. We're in Mexico today, and who knows where we'll be tomorrow.
We're going to be in Mexico tomorrow. We are not leaving Mexico for a while. So anyway, we super appreciate you guys joining us. Salud. Make good choices. Don't lose your papers. And we'll see you on another video.